What's going on, my PT peeps and my Game of Thrones fans? One Eye Bri back to talk about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2, my review, recap, discussion. So obviously, spoiler warning for Season 8 of Game of Thrones and the series as a whole. But if you're worried about spoilers, please stop watching, check out the episode, come back, let me know your thoughts, all that good stuff. But overall, Episode 802 was pretty good. It was a nice setup episode for the big battle that's happening next week. And I'm excited for the big battle, and I hope it lives up to the hype. But Episode 802 was all about more connections, more people are being reunited. Jaime, Tyrion, at Winterfell, they come full circle. Season 1, Season 8, and just certain characters coming together that we haven't seen for a long time, like Bran and Jaime. And it was interesting that Daenerys was like so adamant about taking out Jaime when she couldn't, because she doesn't really rule the North. The South versus the North, the Seven Kingdoms, the Iron Throne versus the North, it's pretty different. And we finally got some answers this episode. We've been waiting so long for things to happen, but the way Jaime and Bran's talk, discussion, dialogue was a little underwhelming. But Bran's not Bran anymore. He's the Three-Eyed Raven. And you know Tyrion was going to stand up for Jaime. You know that had to happen. But Jaime is alive because of Jon, because of Brienne of Tarth. And it was a nice moment, especially the moment when Jaime knighted Brienne of Tarth. It was just pretty cool. And I like the dialogue with Jaime and Bran and Jaime and Tyrion and Jaime and Brienne. It was kind of like, all right, we're going to wrap things up with this character, and then next week's going to be the big battle, and then we'll wrap things up again with another character. We only have 4 more episodes after this episode, guys. We have 6 episodes this season. It's crazy to think that we're a third of the way done of the final season of Game of Thrones. And a simple line: the things I do for love. And I like the dialogue with Sansa and Daenerys and Jon, and things really came together this episode. It was a slower episode. It was more of a story-driven episode, because next week's is probably going to be a super long battle. I think the whole episode is supposed to be a battle. But Daenerys is pissed at Tyrion, and I would be too. He's not giving the best advice, and the advice he has given, it's really backfired against her. It's not been the right situation, because Tyrion wants to keep people alive, and Daenerys is all about the Iron Throne, and she's probably like, I should have just flown the King's Landing and took what's mine, the Iron Throne, when it's not actually hers. It's Aegon Targaryen's, which is Jon Snow, and I'm glad they talked about it in this episode. If you look at the picture right here, you see Daenerys' hair, and she wears a 3-headed dragon pin. And in Season 7, one of her dragons died, and before that happened, her hair covered one of the dragons on her pin. If you look at the pin on her right shoulder, all the dragons are covered. But I did like the dialogue between Sansa and Daenerys, and it was one of those things like, what would happen if you actually take the Iron Throne? What are you going to do with the North? And she didn't give an answer, so she's probably going to want to rule the North. But ultimately, Daenerys could be the problem with Jon, with Sansa, with the Night King, with Cersei, with everybody. That would be a nice little twist if she turns into the Mad Queen, or a problem for everybody. As for Bronn, he was pretty cool. He gave us the answer of what the Night King's up to, and I just wonder if he can see the future or see what's going to happen here. If he can, why is he just holding back the information? Bronn is actually the most important person for this war against the Night King, and if he knows how stuff happens, why is he not telling everybody? But we'll have to see how it happens next week, and I'm excited to see the big, great battle at Winterfell. And it was kind of interesting when you saw the Northerners not liking Daenerys or Missandei or Grey Worm, and you're like, man, that would be kind of tough if you're fighting this battle for these people and they don't even want you there. It's pretty interesting. And I like the dialogue with Jorah and Daenerys was like, yeah, that's in the past. What you did, it's in the past. And you're like, well, you pretty much hated him for a while, and he came back and saved the day. But he gave some good advice to Daenerys here with Tyrion going forward. Well, we'll have to see if it's good advice. And it looks like we're going to get a big thing happening here in this same spot next week. The Night King's all about getting rid of the Three-Eyed Raven, and Bran is that. Is he going to be able to get away? If Winterfell falls, which it probably will, how is Bran going to get away? Thrown on top of a horse and just rides away? We'll have to see, but I want to see the big showdown between the Night King and Jon and Bran and everybody. And I really like the little moments here with the little girl. She's like, I want to fight. And she took me back to Stannis' daughter, where she had the mark on her face, and Davos is looking at her like, yeah, it's not smart for you to fight just because you're the little girl. And then Gilly came and was like, yeah, you can come with us and protect us. It was a nice little moment for sure when Davos was making the bowls of brown for everybody. And it was a nice moment when everybody was like, all right, we're going to die, but it's all right. We got ale. We got everybody coming together. Some people are being together. Some people are working together. Some people are staying up. Some people are just doing things that they'd never done before. And it was a nice little moment, because I think that's what everybody would do in that situation. When Jon saw Ed and Sam and Arya was with the Hound and Beric Dondarrion, who is not on her list anymore, by the way. But ultimately, everybody coming together was nice moments of the episode. I thought that's what really brought the episode together, was this group coming together, even if it was short-lived, when Arya was like, I'm not going to be around you two for my last moment, potentially. Where's Gendry at? But you gotta love Tormund. I was cracking up when Tormund was like, hey, is the big woman here? Like, hilarious. That's what makes the show for me. The secondary characters, Tormund trying to be with Brienne, and Brienne's like, sorry, man, I'm glad you're here, but this ain't gonna happen. And I love the little backstory of Tormund with the giant. And you can see the Dothraki are going out, and the Night's Watch are there, and the Unsullied, and everybody's getting ready for the war. Is everybody just gonna die? They said it several times in the episode. Tyrion's like, yeah, we're gonna live. I think we're gonna live. Nah, we're gonna die. Yeah, we're probably gonna die. So is that what happens? Everybody dies here, or a lot of people die and some people live and get away? I would assume a lot of people die, like Grey Worm, Jorah, people fighting the battles. I mean, how can you defeat the Night King with the giants, the White Walkers, an ice dragon, those spears that could kill the other dragons? I mean, do the other two dragons die next week? We'll have to see. But they're forging the weapons. They got the dragon glass on this, the spears, the arrowheads. It's just awesome. And if you notice, they were putting dragon glass on the barricades around the walls. So if the White Walkers are trying to climb, they're going to dig into the dragon glass, which is pretty smart. Let's talk about Arya and Gendry for a second. So a lot of people were kind of like, whoa, is that okay? The writers of the show were saying that Arya is 18 years old. So she's of age to do what she did with Gendry. And to me, I was okay with it because, this is potentially your last day alive. If you've never done something like that too, you might as well have some fun and live it up as best you can. And some people would definitely do that. Arya, Gendry coming together. I like that he told her that he's a Baratheon. And what if she gets pregnant and she has a little baby, a Baratheon and Stark coming together at the very end of the series? Now, I doubt that's going to be the way the series ends, but it could be one part of it. It might not be the true ending, but the song that Podrick was singing could potentially give some hints for the rest of the series. And the way it ends, people are guessing and theorizing. But I liked this moment right here, when you have Jon, Ed, and Sam, and they were talking about the Night's Watch, and that they're screwed because they have to rely on Sam. He's like, but I killed a White Walker. And Thans, and I stole a book or books from the Citadel. And Ghost was there for about 0.2 seconds, so we did see Ghost. Hopefully he will have a big part in the battle next week as well. As for Jorah, he has Heartsbane, which I thought would happen as you look at the sword right here. And Sam really doesn't need that sword. And I'm kind of glad he gave it to Jorah, because Jorah didn't have a Valyrian sword, as Jon was going to give him back Longclaw. But either way, Jorah has a Valyrian steel sword now, and hopefully he's going to take out some White Walkers. As for Lyanna Mormont, I'm glad they were talking, because they're the two last Mormonts, Lyanna and Jorah, and it was kind of cool for them to talk. But what is Lyanna going to do here? Hopefully she kills some White Walkers and survives. As for Grey Worm, his little moment when he gave the sword back to Jaime, put it on his chest, like, here, was pretty funny. And the dialogue with him and Missandei was like, would you fight for these people? Because they don't want them there. They don't like Missandei. They don't like Grey Worm. They don't like Daenerys. They don't like those people being there. But is this the final kiss goodbye? And part of me thinks so. Because we haven't lost anybody in the first 2 episodes. Well, we lost little Ned Umber. And do not name your son or child Ned in Game of Thrones, that's for sure. But I did like the dialogue between Daenerys and Jon, and Aegon. And they finally discussed that. They addressed it, and I'm glad it's out in the open now. We'll see what happens between these two, that he's actually the rightful heir. Now, he didn't say that he wants the Iron Throne. He didn't say that he doesn't want it either. And then we heard the horn, and then that was it. And then we have to wait and see until next time. And hopefully it's addressed. I think it will be. But Tyrion and everybody coming together were nice moments. I liked that when they were just hanging around, storytelling, drinking. Podrick was singing, Jaime knighted, Brienne. It was just cool. Nice little moments. But the big battle is coming. I kind of thought it would be the way they ended the episode, so we had our predictions, they were right. And definitely episode 802 was a setup episode, as we had more characters reunited, a little more story, Daenerys and Jon, Bran saying what the Night King's all about. Hopefully, episode 803 is the big epic battle that they said. They said it's going to be potentially the whole episode. I'm excited for it, you're excited for it, but let me know your thoughts, post your comments below about episode 802. I liked the episode, it was really good. It was setting up big things, and I like it that they're wrapping things up. And we had Jaime and Bran, Brienne and Jaime, Podrick showing people what to do. He's come a long way, and that's what you want. That's great storytelling where you see a character, you see their story arc, this character, their story arc, and so on. And I think they're doing a great job with it. We'll see what happens of all the different theories. We have a theory about some big things happening. Check out that video that we posted yesterday. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button, become a valued member of our PT channel family. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories. Enjoy the final episodes of Game of Thrones. And as always, see you.